ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to We'll Save the Wait a minute. No.
No?
What's going on?
What?
What?
Why it's not We'll Save the podcast.
Why did you start?
Yeah. No, this is Kevin.
Where
this
have we
is
been
John's
transported
podcast.
to?
Yeah.
Where
So
are
this is what we're going to call a little side session of We'll Save the podcast, and we're calling it We'll Save and the Interstellar Tales from the Extra Galactic Adventure Anthology.
Sounds like a perfect name.
All right. And I think this is going to be like an overarching
I feel
overarching story.
It's already overwhelming. It's great.
But it's still connected. This is still within the universe of the rest of the We'll Save the podcast. But I will be GMing this one, and I just want to. This is another note, especially for the listener. I'm sorry ahead of time. I have never ever GM'd a game in my life. This is a first for
awesome.
me. We didn't even run like a test session. This is
true.
I'm jumping into this while recording.
And we don't need to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Kevin to run this game. Me too. I've been so excited.
I'm so
It's
nervous.
so good. It's so great. Now you will know. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that the only person on this podcast nervous is Kevin.
Yeah. And we're all like, woo!
I know, you're all itching just to make it worse. That's fine. I get it.
Welcome to the other side, man. It's like a player going on GM. GM going on player.
So with that, I want to roll into just for if you are a current listener, thank you again for listening. You probably know all our voices and know who we are. But if you're picking up right now, we do have an entire other story arc. If you want to go back and listen to any of that, and from that story arc, I'd like to introduce ourselves. So I am Kevin Decker. In this show, I will be the GM. But in We'll Save the Podcast, I play Rick 19, the android bounty hunter. And then I just want to do some other stuff. Like my favorite letter is the letter M. Okay. So I want to go around the room. I'm going to start with John. I want to know a little bit about yourself. I want to know your name, who you are on We'll Save the Podcast, and what's your favorite letter?
Let me start here. It was a dark, stormy night in Florida. Summer thunderstorms. Intense. Super intense. And I was born May 28th, 1990, Gainesville, Florida. Let's fast forward a little bit.
Oh my
Security
God.
banking question. Bingo.
Bingo. If you want to steal my ID, that's the audio that you need right there. Yes, my name is John Swan. I am playing the character beep, beep, beep on this show.
That wasn't one of the questions here. That's
okay, great. Sorry.
You play all the characters on the other show.
But on the other show, yes, I'm a player in this show. In the other show, I'm the GM. We're playing the fantastic adventure path, the threefold conspiracy. Definitely start at episode 1 there. And just as Kev said, to plug it again, this show that Kev is GMing is all part of the We'll Save universe. So who knows what might come up that if you've listened to some episodes of our main flagship show, then maybe you'll
We'll Save
be a
universe?
little in the know.
Extra Galactic Adventure Anthology?
Yeah. It's almost as if it's like Interstellar.
Tales?
Yeah, Tales. It's great. Anyway, that's who I am. And my favorite letter is J.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Let's move on to Will Garrett.
My name's Will Garrett. I was born in Los Angeles sometime in the past. It's
Still
widely speculated
Still
when
unclear.
and where.
Depends
exactly.
on whether Los Angeles was incorporated as a city at the time.
Yeah,
Might not have
exactly.
been.
Right.
Scholars still debate. On We'll Save the Podcast, I should say, I play Dr. Kantu Okadis, an Asharu biomedical researcher from Quebec, representing the capital university on Javome. Here I'm excited to dive into a new character, dive into a new adventure, our new anthology. And my favorite letter is Omega.
Nice.
Naturally.
That is
Great.
That's a very Will answer.
Yes,
Right.
very, very
Diversion from the Arabic alphabet to the Greek. That's interesting.
good.
All right, Vinny, you're up next.
I am Vinny Rodriguez. I was born 2 weeks before John, not in the woods. I was born in Jacksonville, Florida.
Big city.
On a swamp.
Right. For those listening, quite the skeptical look. I play Colin Edenbrand, our Irish healing mystic in Will Save the Podcast, who has been on a grand total of, 8 episodes now? A fairly late
I haven't done the
bloomer,
math on that one.
late comer, but definitely happy to be here. These 4 gentlemen, I couldn't imagine playing with a much more fun group than these guys.
Oh,
Hey.
thanks.
Should add that.
Vinny's he's still early, so he has to say things like that.
Yeah.
Also hasn't figured anything else out about us.
I'm still in the dating
Give him
phase.
like 20 more episodes. Yeah.
Honeymooning.
I haven't put the ring on it yet, so I've still got to make the good impression.
We'll treat you right.
Maybe you're just being kind. Vinny and I have been friends since 2nd grade, so maybe you're just trying to be kind, and at some point you'll be like, no, this is the worst.
Or, I mean, you guys are still friends, so that's a good...
That's true.
That's true.
The 2nd grade is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that it's a 2-digit number, but I don't know if it starts with a 1 or a 2. And I'm not sure I want to do the math because I'm old as For those that didn't do that math yet, today is my birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday! I'm the ripe old age of 32. Old enough to not help your friends move, but not yet old enough to really make wise financial decisions.
I remember 32. I think 32 was one of my better years.
31 was good to me. I feel like I did a lot of growing at 31.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like some healthy decisions. Joined a gym. Did some introspection.
That's good.
Did some Enneagram research. I'm a whole new dude at 32.
Dude,
It happens. when
30s
you
are
turn
where
into
it's
your
at.
30s. Yeah,
30,
you really start
31.
to think.
I was playing with some friends and I was like, hey, maybe we should make a podcast.
Yeah.
That's been turning out all right so far, so, it's good.
And, I mean, Vinny's so, optimistic and he's set on life. He's just in a good spot. And then we have Kelly.
Where are we going with this?
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
That's too good. That's great.
Oh my god,
Very happy.
Wonderful segue.
Great segue.
that's great. But for real, don't ask people in their 30s to help you move. They'd rather probably donate money to help you hire someone.
I'll help you hire somebody.
I'm
Actually, I would help
35,
anyone
almost
you guys
36, and I'll help people move all the time.
Well,
but
you
I'd
guys
rather
would.
offer than be asked,
Right.
I guess.
I would help anyone move any 1 or 2 pieces of furniture, but my brother, bless his heart, lived in a 3rd floor walk up.
Nope.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, dude, we're of that age. Hire some movers.
My sister, I once helped her move in the same apartment complex 4 times. I'm not even kidding. She'd be like, I want to move up a floor or this way or something like that. The last time I moved, I just bolted everything to the floor.
And you bought out
In my head canon,
all
that's what I
the
did.
tools in the local hardware store. You could never take them out.
I cut off all the roads. There's no way in anymore.
Yep.
But my name is Kelly, and I don't know, man. I didn't help her move the last time. My name is Kelly,
could you?
and I live in Los Angeles. And
Do you?
yeah, that's right. I came here to this group of people because I knew Will and worked with Will, and I love everyone here and love working with them. It's awesome.
Oh,
and my favorite, I love you, and I'm sure that my character is going to have a nice, happy, healthy life under Kevin. And my favorite letter is X.
Won't die in the first episode, we hope.
That's a bold prediction.
Some of the most interesting words can be formed with an X. But
What's
yes.
our over-under on somebody dying in the first episode?
Please,
On
second
Kelly
episode
dying?
character.
I'm going to
No.
put it at
Any character?
54 and a half
Any
points.
character.
I mean, somebody has to die, right?
I mean, look, I got to bring
Remember
it
the
up.
first episode?
I
Gotta
mean, it's my
ask.
first time GMing, and I don't know what CR means, so good luck. Kelly, I don't know if you mentioned, who do you play on Will Save the Podcast?
Oh, on Will Save the Podcast, I play Sheeran, former space pirate called Here's Fabricius.
Fabricius.
He is a bug guy.
Fabricius.
Yeah, Fabricius.
It's a
Cool,
good name.
cool. So I think we got everybody. I think everyone. We have any other questions, any comments we want to make, or do you guys just want to move ahead? I'm anxious. I'm shaky. I want to get started.
Kev, just tell me which page of the book you want to start on. I'll turn to it, and we'll go from there.
Hold on. Let me see. I'll open up the book.
Okay.
It is actually page
If
3.
we could all open our books of the Adventure Path, that would be great.
It sounds like we're in church.
I don't have.
Open your books.
Yeah, none of you should.
What about
Not how it
classroom? Open your books to page.
Oh, that too, yeah.
This is where Kev teaches us all about the Navy.
Yeah, that's
Will's-
actually.
oh
now
my
that we're
god!
here-
This is a giant excuse to talk about the Navy. He's like, we're gonna do pirates. That's what, just because.
That's why I picked. That's why I picked it.
Sure.
No. Okay. Okay.
Man, I've learned more about the Navy. I have family in the Navy, a lot of family. I've learned
And
more
you've
about
learned
it
more.
from Kevin than anyone else. It's like amazing.
It's because I'm a dig it and I love it. I love the Navy.
I don't even know what that is. But
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's
All
a
right.
tool. Never mind.
It's a Pokemon.
He's like, I'll teach you.
Running.
I'll teach you all about
Now
it.
that you don't know, Kev, it sounds like I should stop this peaceful, wonderful, lighthearted
Yeah.
banter music since I'm running the music. Sounds like
I think you should hold up
Look at
just a minute.
John's GMing already.
Yeah, I know.
His
I know.
podcast, it's not even.
But I'm
it's
just
like
waiting for it to.
I'm sorry.
Here, let's see if I can try this. Right, ready?
All right, here we go.
All right, let's play.
Hey.
So the lights go down in the theater, right? It's all dimming. So I want you to close your eyes and picture the vast darkness speckled with stars. And you see in blue text, long ago in this very galaxy, ellipses. Now you can play the dramatic music, John. And yellow words will fly back into space as Will Save and the Interstellar Tales from the Extra Galactic Adventure Anthology flies onto the screen. And then yellow words start to crawl up the screen. Junker's Delight by Jason Keeley and Misha Bushyaker. And in slightly bigger, bold font, Unknown Treasures. And then normal font follows. Only a few years after the gap, the God Trioon sent the signal, a message that civilizations across the galaxy how to access the drift. A strange new plane of existence that facilitates faster than light travel. At once, scientists and scholars sought to better understand the drift, what it was, how it truly worked, and why it existed. Centuries later, many of these questions remain unanswered, but in those early decades, the pioneering spirit of scientific exploration swept many scientists and research teams up and away. One collection of independent scholars believed they could draw energy directly from the drift in a process that would make power sources like batteries obsolete. These scientists crewed a research vessel called the Stellar Flare. Its mobility allowed them to travel and study unusual drift phenomena. And aboard this ship, one of the researchers was an android named Vari 8. Tragedy struck the Stellar Flare as they conducted an experiment above Akiton after procuring some Thasteron, a mineral often converted into starship fuel before drift engines became a standard. The ship crashed on the red planet below. Although no one survived and the research was lost, emergency medical teams salvaged the partial remains of Vari 8's body. And soon after, another soul found its way into the android, and Vari 9 was born. Hundreds of years has passed. Recently, Vari 13, a historian residing in the body of Vari 8, had a close call with an unsecured airlock, and the near-death experience unlocked some of Vari 8's memories. Suddenly reminded of the groundbreaking research pioneered by Vari 8, Vari 13 began to track down the Stellar Flare. After all, if any technology from the experiments could be recovered, the research could start again. And perhaps this time, all the packed worlds would have limitless energy directly from the drift. Ellipses. All right. And then, like, as those words are scrolling up the screen, the spaceship just breaks through them. Vinny, do you want to describe that ship to us?
Yeah. That ship looks a bit like a bird in that it's got a sort of a thicker center section with a cockpit near the front and wings off to the left and right with not feathers, but because they're metallic. It looks a fair bit like the M-class ships from a franchise which I will not name for copyright reasons. The color scheme is navy blue as primary, with like a light orange alternate. And do you want me to mention the name?
I was going to ask that. Yes.
It's Caduceus.
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 We're going to have you spell that out for us some other time. But
I will.
Great.
I think one little change I want to make to that is instead of a cockpit, it's actually a full bridge.
Ooh.
Because we're gonna scale this thing up. It is a full size starship with a crew of 50 plus people.
Dang. Los Angeles class.
And along the side of these things, this ship is a bunch of portholes and viewing ports. And so we're going to like swing the camera all the way around this starship. And as it wraps around that second time, it's going to zoom in on a single porthole. And as it zooms in, it's going to see this window. And inside this window, there's a small stateroom with a bed on one wall and a beautiful starscape painting hanging over it. And across from it is a small desk. And sitting at that desk, there's a figure. And we're going to zoom in. As we get closer and into that, we're going to like pass through the window. John, can you describe this figure?
So you see this very tall, lean Kasathan. You can tell from the back of the elongated head. You pan down, you see that there's a black, loose-fitting shirt, kind of flowy, a little bit of like a quarter button on the front as you pan around. And as we look, the shirt comes down to the forearms. And if you don't know, Kasathans have 4 arms.
Forearms.
Four arms. And you can see all these tattoos, at least from the forearms of the forearms. And they seem to be moving up into full sleeves. Maybe one is a half sleeve. There are all these tattoos in black ink on this blue skin. And it looks like some of them are coordinates. Some of them are stars. Some of them are navigational tools. There's also one that is the Adari. That's quite large on one of the arms. And they're sitting, looking, and as we kind of move around, you see that their pants, red. They're like a tunic, or sorry, they're robed, also flowy. There seems to be this gold sash around the pants. And they're sitting, and it seems like they're leaning forward, and the energy is out of them. There's a sense of heaviness in the room. Maybe if you look off to the right, there's the starscape, this beautiful starscape, but down below on the floor, there's several other paintings, various sizes. The canvas is just leaning up against each other. One maybe is really colorful, maybe it's the drift. One is almost all black. One seems to have some paintings on it. You can't quite see it. There's some paint supplies sitting next to it. But otherwise, the room, except for that, the room is spotless and minimalist, but in a thoughtful way. And as we come around, we see that his eyes are closed. Thinking. There's a... And without opening the eyes, one of the arms pulls out a drawer in the desk. Comes out, picks up a little device that seems to be some sort of storage device, and puts it on the ground, or on the desk, presses a button. There's a little hollow display, scrolls through very slowly, and his finger pauses above one entry, and takes a deep breath. One of the arms pushes the entry for the audio to start playing.
Listen, Rolu, it's me. Listen, you did good. You did good with the plans. The entry points were accurate. We got through and we got those people out, and even took out some of the traffickers. The people are on their way to the rendezvous point, and I confirmed that the stewards are there to pick them up. So, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with you. You did perfectly. But we got found out. And Rolu, Chad, he didn't make it. He sacrificed himself so we could get those people out, and so we would have a chance. He always was a kind idiot. Everyone else is fine, but I don't know what they're going to do with us. Disband the crew. A lot of them are pretty much nameless, so they'll be fine. Tell them to find other crews, or even better, get away from the free captains far away. As for you, Shara, and anyone well-known, we were traitors, and you all had nothing to do with this. Your captain's gone now, and you never had the confidence to become captain yourself, so you disbanded the crew, okay? That's your story, and everyone's story. Stick to it. My record with the stewards and the other powers that be is now wiped clean, but I've run up a tab with these bastards, and they're powerful ones, so I'm not going to be able to come back from this. Take care.
The audio stops.
Oh my god. Sorry. I'm the GM and I'm like, what the hell? No, that was beautiful.
Rolu opens his eyes, and we can't quite see his entire face, but another arm presses another button. And then as we pan down, we see a white mask going over Rolu's face. Leans back, kind of with a heavy sigh. Starts to think, starts to just project himself into what could happen. Having listened to this over and over, and then stops, remembers where he is. And that's what we see.
And he goes back to painting.
And he goes back, he takes the storage device, reaches over, grabs a canvas, has a nice little display on the front, opens some watercolors.
And then while Rolu's going about his business, heavy-handed, there's a dunk just kind of over the intercom. It's called a 1MC on a submarine, but here it's going to be called an intercom or a PA.
Starts now.
You know.
I'm starting to... I'm going to take a tally. That's tally one.
Slowly.
Maybe reference. It's fine.
That's what calling
Count the Navy references per episode and win a prize.
Bing, one.
It's like a radar blip, yeah.
Cobb, Weps, come to the CO stateroom.
So as Rolu, he stands up, he opens up the door to his stateroom,
Changes.
and he steps out. Yeah, he changes real quick? Okay. And he changes.
Black
And then he gets up and as he's leaving his stateroom, another door, like right next door in the hallway, opens up. And what steps out, Kelly?
Okay, so what steps out of this room is a 7-foot-tall giant cat beast man called a Patra. It's a race in Starfinder. He is golden, kind of like a tabby-colored, like golden fur, like all the way, like tall, angular, like horny-looking ears. And like these like really,
meow.
really like meow.
I said horny.
Yeah, he has like these like anyway, golden kind of like a light golden eye. His eyes kind of like a sunrise over the water sort of appearance. Behind him as he comes out of the room, you see little tankards and containers filled with pieces of biology of various creatures. A couple skulls, trophies from previous engagements. This one's a fighter, so he takes trophies from those who he destroys. His armor is also gold, kind of shiny, just a very big, broad, scary-looking guy. And on his belt, he has just a sheath, like a black sheath. Or I should say a hilt, more accurately, like hanging on his... There you go. Big hands, long claws. You can make out, like, the traces of dried blood under his fingernails.
Rolu speaks up when he sees Espatra. Learn anything new from your freshest carcass?
I always do, Cobb.
And with that, you two, the WEPs, which is short for weapons officer. Thaddeus is our weapons officer. And the Cobb, which is an acronym for Chief of the Boat. They're keeping count. They're throwing up tally marks. Is the most senior enlisted person on a ship. The two of you make your way down to the CO stateroom. Once you get to the door, Rolu, you're kind of leading the way, and you reach up and you knock twice. Do you knock twice with one hand, or do you use like two fists on one side and go doo-doop?
Depends on what I'm feeling, but right now, there's just knock twice with one hand. It's very direct.
Right. Doo-doop. And you request permission to enter.
May I enter?
From the other side of the room, or other side of the door, you hear a come in. And so you reach down, you open the handle, you open that door, and Will, what do we see?
You see, as you open the door, the air shifts in a cold room, adorned with trophies from prior journeys, maps and charts, pictures and persons, figures and artifacts, notes scrawling, interpreting a maze of information laid out among the CO's personal belongings, where beneath streams of light beaming from the portholes lining the sides of the stateroom backlights a figure barely visible, but for two shimmering golden tips of what at first glance looks like knives pointed upward, and beneath the large figure whose body heat is producing a thin ribbon of steam creeping up from his body. As the creature exhales loudly, a cloud of steam begins to stand. What was appearing to be golden daggers you saw before shows themselves to be part of a larger set of black horns curving upward in an appearance of glass resembling a highly polished obsidian streaked with gold and tipped completely by a luminous and shimmering gold horns appearing to be natural but like black marble, so sharp it seems to be gilded. Beneath those horns, a long, large face covered in light gray fur. He looks up at you with piercing pink eyes. Nearly 8 feet hulking before you stands a noir wearing black fitted armor with golden embellishments and a golden collar shrouding his scars around his neck. Do you want me to name him?
Yeah, tell us his name.
His name is Almanzo Goldhorn.
Nice. I'm also Goldhorn. Somebody write that down.
And he
I'm not taking notes
speaks.
for this 'cause I'm the GM.
I have a problem that you two better handle.
And as the captain says this, there's something moving in the back of his stateroom. And it hops down and starts walking down. What do we see, Vinny?
I sort of imagine the camera pans left to nothing and then tilts down abruptly.
It's great.
You see a roughly 18-inch, what might be best described as a monkey-faced orchid. You see a tiny, what looks like Jack from a very popular pirate franchise, in full sort of pirate-garbed second skin armor, doting around. Where you would expect to see a bed, you would see like a plant bed.
Aww.
Instead of sheets, there's like soil.
It's just a pot, yeah.
Yeah. And he sort of toddles over, flower gently billowing in the breeze of the ship.
Nice. And so, and what do you have a name for this creature?
His name is Jack, spelled with a CH. CH.
Jack.
Chuck. Yeah.
Good.
So Jack comes out from his bed, his flower bed, and he moves across the floor, and he's going to climb up the leg and onto the shoulder of the pirate captain.
Captain, what appears to be the problem?
Those street rats just bit off more than they can chew. Kefak Depot is my territory. Take the yeoman chief with you. He has more details. Chalk, go with them.
That's our territory. Let's go.
And as he says that, the ship lurches. The whole thing pulls to one side. But no one is surprised by that. It's almost like it was expected. And then the captain states the obvious.
We're out of the drift now. That is all. Distant stars, or drift beacons and distant stars.
Drift beacons and distant stars. You heard him.
Just
Let's
beacons
go.
and different stars.
And with that, the three of you leave the room. Do you guys say anything to each other as soon as that door shuts?
Look, this is going to be something that sounds like we need to handle this quickly, handle this with not a lot of care. We'll take it. I'm going to be the CO, and uses air quotes, looking at the Patra, which, by the way, what's the Patra's name again?
The Patra's name is Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Does that make sense, Thaddeus?
If we run into any combat, I have to take over, Cobb. You know how this is. I can't say you're the man for that job. As soon as action occurs, I'm in charge. I am the weapons officer, Cobb.
Well, the thing is, things happen in combat. So when the time comes, it will get done.
Check.
Where are you guys?
Check is
go
looking
ahead,
up.
go ahead.
It looks like he's watching a tennis match. But as that conversation concludes, he climbs up on Cobb's shoulder. All right, guys, let's go.
Agree to get this done. There's like a handout to shake.
Thaddeus just starts walking.
Oh,
Damn.
love it.
Okay, so where do you guys want to go? Where do you go next?
Well, we need to go to the yeoman, right? Yeoman.
Yeoman, yeah.
Yeoman.
Oh man, look at John bringing in some Navy terms.
Does that count?
Four.
Yeah,
I
no, does it-
learned
does
it
that
from
count
you,
against-
Kev. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No,
Time.
it's
It doesn't
Kevin
count
mentions.
against Kev's count. I think we should cap him.
Thaddeus, are you coming with us to talk to the yeoman, or maybe you don't care about that? So I'll just handle it. So,
I'm with you, Cobb. I'm with you.
all right, let's go.
So where do you guys head? I can give you some suggestions. You can go to like Crew's Mess, which is usually where people gather when they're not doing anything else. You can go to the engine room. You can go to one of the cargo bays. You can go to like the cargo bay, or you can go to
The other cargo bay. Yeah.
cargo bay.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. You can also
Really?
go
Are
to-
we sure?
Yeah. This time, yes, there are two.
This time, yes.
You can
There's
also
not
go
a
to, like,
third one that we're not aware of, right? Sorry.
Maybe.
All right.
If there's two, there's one. So
You can also go to the chief's quarters, which is where the chiefs usually hang out, or like the yeoman shack is where yeomans usually go. So where would you guys want to go to first?
I think probably wherever the yeoman's most likely to be.
So
We need.
is that one or is that two Navy?
That's 7, I think.
That's like 7.
I lost count.
Yeoman
I can't
shack,
count past 5. I only have
Yeoman
5
shack?
fingers.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys make it down. You go down the hallway. You go down some stairs. On your way to the yeoman shack, you pass through crew's quarters or crew's mess. And crew's mess is just like a bunch of dining tables, and there's people hanging out. Some people are playing cards in the corner. Other people are just reading a book. And you go further down that hallway, and off to the side, there's it seems like a stateroom, except for the top of the door. There's like it's a split door, so one door can swing open.
Uh-huh.
Like the top of the door opens.
Yep.
And you look in there, and there's a young Lashunta sitting there.
Real quiet.
Your move, Cobb. You're in charge.
Excuse me. Have you seen the yeoman?
No, I haven't seen it. Last I saw the chief, I think he's in the chief's quarters.
All right, thank you, as you were. And we leave to go to the chief's quarters.
Cool. So you guys walk further down. You get to the chief's quarters. You knock on the door, and you're the cop, so you can just kind of slam your way in.
Go in. Yep.
And you see a round table, and there's a Vesk sitting on one corner, and sitting next to him is who's sitting next to the Vesk. Will
You see the yeoman Terme Theoden Hermidax, also known as Terme, a hooded figure with a burnt orange, sort of gold and pink hued embellishment, with a cape, and he's a witchward, four-armed, wearing sort of black obsidian freebooter armor, similar to what the captain's garb was, but with a sort of like a pink, rose pink, golden hue to it, the trim around it, and a burnt orange, almost black embellishment around it, sitting there discussing, I guess, something with the Vesk.
Is the Vesk, what I know if the Vesk is a lower rank than me?
you would know that he's at least a chief, unless. So, like, if and more Navy shit. So, if the chiefs are just sitting there casually, they're probably both chiefs. If there's somebody standing there, he's probably talking to a chief, like he was requested to come in. But it'd be much more like formal and rigid. So, if they're just casually talking, they're probably both chiefs.
Okay,
at least.
And chief would be higher than Cobb, correct?
No, Cobb is a chief. He's chief of the boat. He's the highest chief.
He's the highest chief.
The highest.
All right. Gonna walk over and look in and look over at the yeoman and say, Yeoman, I'm going to need you for something. And then look at the desk and say, if you don't mind, we're going to need the room for this. I'd like to speak in private.
Very well.
And the Vesk stands up. He just kind of nods at you and shimmies out because their Vesks are large. And
kind of
he
pushes
walks
people
past.
out of the way.
He bows at Thaddeus, and his eyes kind of get big when he sees Czech, because Czech is usually only on the captain's shoulder.
Yeah, you better get out.
And with that, he huffs and keeps walking.
Think Rolu goes and takes a seat and then looks over at Thaddeus, gestures the seat for Thaddeus to sit.
Can I help you?
We've got something here from the captain. Sounds like you've got some more information. We just dropped out of the drift, and we need to take back Kefak Depot.
Yes.
Tell me everything you know.
We are to go on a mission. The shuttle is ready. In the docking bay, we must eliminate
Eliminate
Dotrulu is how I'm
Dotrulu. Find some information, some riddle to draw him out. This is what I've been told.
You've been told to draw him out. Dotrulo, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so
we must leave at once, and I've been given the authority to accompany you on this mission.
I am happy to have you aboard on this mission. I just want to find out more. So, Dotrulo is somebody. What's their thing? What's their shtick? Why are they a thorn in our side right now?
Kev?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you that this is all you guys know, is that Terme, that's how you say it, right? Terme.
Yeah, Terme.
Terme has a note,
but Terme is fine.
And do you want to show him the note? Go ahead and show. I don't know if that's what your character would do, but yeah.
Sure, yeah. I'll show him the note. It says, eliminate Dotrulu. Find the riddle.
Find the riddle.
Draw him out.
Sorry. As Tremaine told you, there is a shuttle waiting. So
I think Rolu's going to show that to Thaddeus and say, How many riddles do you find in those corpses? This is something new here. I'm really not in the business to solve riddles, but I guess that's what we're doing now.
I found many things on corpses, but never a riddle before. Looking forward to it.
I love a riddle.
Jack, I'll be looking to you the most for the answer to this riddle.
All right.
Shall we proceed?
And I think Brolu kind of side eyes Tormaiden, and then this, yes, we shall, as a reminder of oh yeah, that's right, we got to get back to the job. And then we slams all four arms or hands on the desk. Let's go.
So I figure you guys all get up. You kind of shoot your different ways and grab your gear, whatever gear you're expecting to bring on this. And then you head out to the docking bay, and you guys all meet up in the docking bay. And there's several ships in this docking bay. It's a large starship, and so there's several smaller ships and shuttles. So you guys walk up to one, and it's about the size of a small helicopter, like a military helicopter. It probably seats about 8 people total.
Like a Huey.
Yeah, like a Huey. I don't know how many people. I didn't look up how much Hueys can hold because that is Navy related, but it's air stuff.
It's not part of the Navy, so Kev doesn't care.
Submarine world is all I care about. Anyway, so you guys walk up to this one shuttle that is clearly the one that's activated and getting ready to go. And you guys all start to climb in. There's a young human woman sitting in the pilot seat, and she goes, "Cobb, Weps, welcome aboard. Says here you guys are going to Kefak Depot."
Yeah, we're going to Kefak Depot.
And with that, she starts flicking switches and pushing buttons, and the engines roar to life, and you guys all get in, shut the doors, and you hear this as the doors seal shut.
Yes.
And then the airlock doors, the giant bay doors open up, and you see the stars out, and you can see Akiton down below you. And the shuttle starts to lift off and shoot out the bay doors, and that's when you hear, now we're in the intercoms and.
Just so you know, there's a no-fly zone around Kefak Depot. Nothing can fly there, not even insects and bugs and birds. Morrow's as close as I can get you, Rolu. But the XO said he's got some ground support for you, some ground transport ready.
That's fine. Drop us wherever's safe. And also wherever's quiet. Want to keep this a little under the radar.
I'm not sure if that's that's not really how it works, John. Just saying.
What the?
So I'm switching you over to the map of Akiton now.
Yes, roll 20.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to roll 20.
It's just a map of Akiton, which is a beautiful map.
Also,
I see it.
I want to shout out
Sorry.
Kev for this really good landing page for us.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great landing page.
I drew it myself. I'm just kidding. I took the cover of the book.
Shout out.
Joker's Delight.
Whoever's out.
I had to look it up who drew that, but thank you very much. Cool. So now you guys should be on the right map.
Yes.
I'm new to level 20 and I'm
Yes.
first
On
time
the right
GM,
map.
so-
Yep.
I see it.
I see a map.
You don't see the map?
I see a map.
Oh, you see the map. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to do... Let's see if I can do this right. Bam! Did that work?
What am I seeing now?
Oh, yeah. I see the ship.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
If anybody knows the map
great.
of Akiton, anybody listening, there's a map
Like
of
the back of my
Akiton, and across the middle of it is a big, large crack. So as the scout ship breaks through the dusty atmosphere of Akiton, you see a humongous crevice splitting the small desert planet. This chasm that runs almost the entire equator is called the chasm. Whatever.
Chasm.
Is called the Adayo Drift or Rift. Not Drift. You see a major metropolitan area built into the walls of this canyon as far as the eye can see, all the way down to the bottom. And there's no rock there, only buildings and flickering lights all the way into the darkness from the cliff's edge blocking the sunlight.
That's so cool.
The ship settles onto one of dozens of landing pads on the upper ridge as the city spills over into the flat desert. It lands on this pad, and you step out, and you walk over to a parking lot and kind of lead the way. And Termay is kind of leading the way because he's got the information that the pilot handed him. And there's this giant elevator that comes
This
up.
way.
and where the elevator is coming up and other people are moving around, you actually see a bus. But instead of like like a school bus almost, but instead of wheels, it has like tank treads all the way down the side of it. What? And on top, there's some armaments on the roof. But if you look closely, like they look pretty rusty and probably not well maintained. You guys walk up to it, and this is your ride.
Hey, Yeoman, where are we?
We are to take this transport. That's where we're at the Adio Rift. What do you mean? Where are we? We're on Akheton.
Oh, okay. These buses look pretty broken down.
And as you guys are having this conversation, you're looking at the multiple buses. You see one bus that has kind of like a digital sign on the side that says Kefak Depot. And there's a Sheeran standing outside wearing like a bus driver's outfit. I'm not sure what a bus driver's outfit looks like.
Hey,
On the City of Mara.
look, guys, they sent one just for us.
All right,
Anybody going to Kefak Depot? Kefak Depot this way.
We are.
check. I'm just going to need you to. Your enthusiasm is infectious, but it just we don't need to let everybody
Shut up,
know
Jack.
that we're going to Kefak Depot.
Check.
Shut up.
Check waves his flower, but not quite as aggressively as he was before.
As you guys walk up, you hand the tickets. Tremaine probably hands like all the tickets to.
Yes, I keep the tickets. So we for joining this ride to Kefak Depot.
Welcome aboard. I'll get you there as soon as I can. And so you guys all shove your way into this bus. When you get on, you notice there's a small family of Yosoki. And you also see in the very back there are 2 Vesks
Chilling.
sitting in the back row. Wherever you guys want to sit.
I immediately pull out my club and start beating the Yosoki family. 'Cause they're a threat. They're an absolute threat.
Roll for initiative.
No, I'm just kidding. No, as Rolu gets on, Rolu in what you can tell is the best way, because Kasathans wear masks always, but you can tell that his eyes kind of crinkle up in a smile, and he greets the Yosoki family in Yosoki, walking by, shuffling by to get to the seat.
The kids kind of turn away from you, but the mother nods, as and replies back in Yosoki. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Check waves aggressively.
The kids smile at you, but they don't know what they're smiling about. It's like, whoa, what is that thing? So wait, did we talk about what your races are? I think Thaddeus mentioned you are a Patra.
Yes.
Rolu we know is a Kasathan.
Yep, blue skin, long, elongated head, wears a mask all the time.
What was Treme?
He's a witch word.
A witch word.
Such a good choice.
Yeah,
And witch words also have forearms, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
got it.
And they are also typically they hide their faces, so he's got a hood. Yeah.
And then Chalk, what
Chuck.
kind of creature are you?
Yeah, I described him a bit, but I didn't name the race. He's a Raxolite.
Classic. I love Raxolites.
And I feel like on Akiton, a lot of people haven't seen Raxolites. They come from a distant planet.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine there are a lot of plant people on a desert planet.
Yeah, it's just a wasteland, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Yes, there's more to Akiton than just being a wasteland. But,
Really?
when you see everything as a way to study corpses, that's fine. To be expected.
And before you guys even sit down, the Sheeran steps on board and he shuts the door behind you and he says, "Everyone aboard, please take your seats. We're going to get moving soon."
All
Jack,
right.
please sit down.
Let's
You
go.
need to actually sit and not hop between the seats.
He hops off of the shoulder and bounces a couple of times on the seat.
Jack, I'm going to need you to be in the seat for this ride. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thaddeus steps on, and then the bus just kind of heaves under his weight, and then he just kind of attempts to give a grin at the Yosoki, but it's just terrifying, and then he just sits down.
The kids.
All right, so then the bus starts moving as soon as you guys sit down. And it takes several hours for you to get to Kefak Depot.
Oh man.
If you can see on the map, I was gonna actually. Sorry, I forgot to watch. Ready?
Oh,
And the ship lands at Morrow.
Ship. Look at that.
And then
Roll 20
Kafak
master.
Depot. You can see how far Kafak Depot is. So it's several.
I don't see it.
You don't see the map?
No, I
just
see
see
the map.
lots of
Where's the
sand.
depot?
Kafak.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah. There's a couple other ridges, but there's bridges across that. Not a big deal. So
A couple other bridges.
you guys
but they're
are
bridges.
you're trucking through the desert, and it takes some time. Do you guys do anything while you're on the bus? Do you
I
say anything or
look up
talk
what
to
the
anyone?
ambient temperature of the desert is.
It is 23 degrees Celsius currently.
Oof.
Okay.
Chuck pulls out one of those tourist misting fans and just starts to spray water on himself.
Is 23 a lot?
23 is pretty hot in Celsius, is my understanding. None of us.
No, it's
clearly-
73 degrees. But
Really?
it's,
What? Okay.
That's nice.
I was super wrong about that. My bad. It's nice.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
but it's very early in the morning. Like you guys flew down at sunrise.
And I imagine ambient humidity is pretty low.
Yeah. There's
It's
no-
a dry 73.
You're like in Arizona. That's what it's.
Terme
Anyways,
is looking out at the landscape, wishing he was outside, but you couldn't tell based on his appearance or face. He just gazes by himself, looking outward. As witchwards do prefer a dry climate.
Torme, you ever been out here in the rough deserts?
I've been in many a desert.
So you
Quite
would say-
fond of them.
So you're a desert guy. All right.
I'm fond of where opportunity leads.
You know, some may say that there's wisdom in the way that the sands move, and if you listen close enough, you can hear that wisdom.
Always so sentimental, Cobb.
Chuck presses his ear opening to the window.
I feel like the kids laugh at that.
I don't hear any wisdom.
You just have to listen closer, Chuck. Well, when you get out, you'll be able to hear it.
You should just get outside right now, Chad.
You can get on my shoulder and you can listen.
Okay.
Cool. So, this trip goes on for several hours, and as it comes near to the end, the vehicle is speeding towards a growing glare of tall structures. Grand buildings, impossibly clean considering the fine grit choking the air. A ring on the outer edge of Kafak Depot. Flashy signs for accommodations and entertainment adorn every surface. As your driver, Chaktrame, drives deeper into town, glossy facades quickly fade into huddles of dust-stained buildings. Mountains of crashed starships and other junk stretch behind them. Piles of metal, glass, plastic, and countless other materials glint in the light of the burning sun. Kafak Depot appears quite busy. Many wheeled vehicles trundle through the streets, some of which wind through the junk mounds. Vendors hawk their wares on every corner and haggle with their customers. Now let me move you over to the map. Back
to another map.
Yeah.
3 maps in one episode.
Maps
What
on
is
maps on
this
maps.
kind of show?
Maps on maps?
Maps on maps on maps. Dude, come to look at this map. Look at the theme.
Dude.
Oh, it's all good. It's all nice. I like
It
it.
reminds
It's like
me
a
of
giant junkyard.
I don't know.
The
can see
Kafak Depot
the-
in individual letters is a nice touch.
It's really cool.
I put this map together myself.
Dude, that is so...
I'm kidding.
That's
No,
so
everything
awesome.
I did, I downloaded straight from Roll20 from the paid Starfinder pack. Thank you, Paizo, for putting this together for me. I'm a first-time GM, and I didn't do any of this by myself. But you guys can see the bus down in the corner as I wiggle it around.
wait.
Yeah, the red
Sorry,
bus.
Got to scroll.
Oh yeah, the red bus. All
I
aboard the red
didn't add
bus.
guns to the top, but there are guns on this thing.
Just huge guns.
And so it drives into town, and Chalk Treme starts to get a little bit talkative, and he's like, if you look off to the right, there's The Illusion. It's a famous magician's theater. It's popular all across Pact Worlds. And you drive further, and he's like, that place belongs to the water dealer. Water dealer, he manages all the water in town. Sorry, it's a they. They manage all the water in town. There's Carnival Hotel off to the left, and then you come up to this four-corner road, and it looks like you could just drive straight ahead. There's this beautiful bridge made of stone leading from one building to another, but there's a yellow plaque on it that says 11 foot 8 inches max. And so Chakchame, he's like, we're not going that way, and he turns to the left, and as he's turning to the left, a truck turns right onto that road, and like right as you turn away, that truck just gets peeled open like a tin can on the bottom of this bridge.
Did you see that? What? Oh my god!
That one was for you, Jeff.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, that was great. That was good. That was great.
And so then the bus is going to make around the corner here and then keep going up. And as you turn the next corner back to the street where you would have been if you would have just gone straight, there's a giant coliseum, the arena. And out front, there's a pillar that is just beaming projections into the sky, and it's flashing, and it says, Game Store Gauntlet, make sure you vote on our Twitter. And then that flashes away, and then the next projection comes up. Let me see, does this work?
What? Prague?
Yes!
Prague?
Somebody want to describe what you see?
It says Prague versus Cookie Cutter this 6th day, only at the arena.
And it's got...
So this is like it's a digital projection into the sky, right? So it's like
like a hologram?
blue, like hologram of these two
Back to the Future 2, but way better graphics.
Amazing.
Right. And there's this Yosoki with a giant hammer in battle armor screaming at this small lizard.
For those that
It's got like a sling with a rock in it.
Yeah,
Right?
but just
Oh,
incredible.
man.
Yeah,
So
just
this
a
is when-
cool yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, Prague was really young at this point, I guess. He was a little tiny. Anyone who doesn't know about Prague, if you're just getting started with this series, check out our main series, where we play the Threefold Conspiracy, and you'll learn all about it.
Well,
Very excited.
Does anybody know about Keshi's? Do you want to like roll anything?
Yeah, I think Rolu will roll about Keshtis, and as well as anybody else. He's got
First
a good culture.
roll.
First roll. Let's see.
What is this roll?
It's just like a
Like a
knowledge
life
check.
science?
Life science.
Life science or culture?
Culture.
Life science or culture? Okay. Kind of all right. Rolled a 9, and my culture is
Okay.
+7, so 15 total.
Oh, good. Okay. I made it at 12 because I'm a GM and I can make up my
That's
own.
what you can do when you're in the seat.
You beat 12?
Yep.
And so you know, and I'm just going to read this off straight out of one of the books.
Read it straight out, dude.
When hatched, Akeshtis are little more than tiny lizards with gaping mouths. Their broodminders, which is like, the parent of the group, guide their feeding habits. Left to their own, they would seek any organic matter and just devour it. After about 5 years and 3 feet of growth, so they only grow about 3 feet tall, Akeshtis leave their broodminders and settle down into a more civilized mode, banding together with other adolescents of various age. These Akeshtis collaborate together with their economic, social, and technical skills, typically working around the fringes of civilization as junk traders, mechanics, and scavengers. It's only after 10 to 20 years of adolescency that they start to rut. And rutting is what leads to what we knew Harag as a Rivner.
So Rivna.
So we don't know if this image of Harag is young, but you can what's the word? Figure out. There's a famous word, a nice big popular word.
Surmise.
Figure out. Surmise. That's the word. Thank you. You could surmise that Harag
Extrapolate.
is anywhere from 5 to 25 years of age in there. It doesn't necessarily mean he's a child, but he is a small creature.
So we know about as much as about how old Frog is as about as we know how old Will is.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you tell us about Cookie Cutter?
Cookie Cutter is a Yusoki that was born and raised in one of the smaller towns, Arl. Sorry, it's not a small town. It's actually a city.
Yeah, it's a big city.
Arl on Akiton.
Love it.
And he is new to gladiatorship.
Oh, so it's like
And
the rookie versus the established.
Yeah, and Hrog is a big deal at this point. He has been the reigning champion of this arena for as long as anybody knows. So cool. All right, moving on.
Amazing.
That was just a nice
Amazing. Great stuff.
Bam. So you actually pull up to the arena.
Oh.
And that is the stop for this bus. And so you pull up, and Chaktrame says, "End of the line. It's been a real pleasure driving you folks. Hope you find what you're looking for here." And with a wave, you guys all get off the bus. The Sheeran waves his hand, and it drives off, emitting a cloud of exhaust.
Engine rumbles.
Cool. So you guys are now on the ground in Kafak Depot.
Holy cow. Holy cow, we're here.
We're here.
So,
Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
That's an awful big arena. I wonder what all that business about Hrog and Brief Cutter was about.
You ever been to a fight check?
I don't think I have.
You are missing out. It seems like something that's right up Thaddeus's alley. So if we have time, maybe we'll squeeze this in.
That sounds like a stab.
Whips, what do you think?
I do like a good tournament, but we have more important things to do.
I agree.
Do we know where our target is? Would he be at a place like this? He's a big shot, isn't he?
Well, I don't think we know that much. That's part of the note.
Why don't we start here?
I agree.
can
I
we
don't
do...
know that these street rats that the CEO pointed us to, this Dotrulo, would be at such a place, but it's worth investigating, I suppose.
Can we go... I think Rolu's going to just casually start to walk around and look at the wares of everybody hawking in front of the arena, selling probably shirts of Frog and little hollow displays of them and cool, plastic weapons and things. And he's going to try and walk around and maybe find somebody to ask if they know Dotrulo. I'm saying that correctly, right?
Dotrulo.
Dotrulo.
So you're just walking up to people and saying like, "Hey, do you know Dotrulo?"
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just walking up, making small talk, and then just saying that wanted to ask, if there are some people here that we wanted to find out some more about somebody.
I'm going to look for Tremaine's going to look for like any seedy looking merchants and try to surmise. Maybe we can see what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, most of the people you talk to around this area, as soon as they hear you say Dotrulo, they kind of...
We're not coming out with it, but
Okay, if you mention Dotrulo, they're going to shut down and walk away from you.
Got it. So Check is going to be like riding along on Cuff's shoulder, looking around to see if there's one stall that's particularly popular or if there's any signage for a local watering hole where we might find more information at.
Well, all the watering holes are controlled by the water dealer.
Watering hole bar.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke. Oh, come on.
Yuck.
Good.
All right, so you guys find there's the seediest character you can find is actually an android, kind of off to the side that he's definitely been seen better days. He's missing some screws. He's got a face panel is actually just missing completely, and you can see all the gears underneath.
Gross.
And wiring and stuff. Yeah, but he's out there. He's peddling what's clearly bootleg, counterfeit shirts of he's got a winner, Cookie Cutter one, and he's got a
winner
Frog
hog
one. He's got them side by side.
He's got some grog t-shirts.
Grog, yeah. You guys ask him? What do you guys ask
some
him?
muffin butter paraphernalia.
You You guys ask him anything, or you just?
You there. Can you tell us anything about who controls this area?
Oh, you are referring to the water dealer. He controls this area.
We're setting up a business of our own. Would we need to talk to such a person? Can you get us in touch with him? We're in need of this water for our new venture.
The water dealer is located at the casino most of the time. He does not talk to regular people like you and me.
What's the water dealer's name?
The water dealer?
Yeah.
Their name has long been lost. They are known only as the water dealer.
I'd like to buy a frog t-shirt, please.
So, yeah,
I have a feeling this will be worth something one day.
Yeah. Do any of you guys want to roll, let's say, like an intelligence check, or would it be like an investigation?
Sure.
What do you like? Maybe a culture check? You trying to do or perception?
I'm looking at
Sense
intelligence
motive?
wise. I'm going to say it's nothing to do with the android.
All right,
Or roll an intelligence check.
just straight intelligence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's a
That looks high.
dirty 20.
Dirty 20, I'm going to say it's plenty. Chuck, of all people, you just like have this hint in your head. Maybe we should be looking for this riddle.
It's riddle.
What or who is this riddle? What is it?
That seems silly. Have you seen any riddles lately?
And the android kind of like cocks his head to the side. Riddle? You mean like the riddle?
Oh, that sounds juicy. What's the riddle?
You should probably, and he points over that way, and you see just like, it's the shadier side of town. Junker's Delight is over that way.
What's Junker's Delight got to do with a riddle? And what's Junker's Delight?
No, like, it's Junker's Delight. What are you, new to town?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you. I think you should go check it out for yourself.
Rolu walks up. Friend, you're just really excited. First time to the arena. So yeah, we'll this Junker's Delight place. Yeah, we'll check it out. Sounds like that is the riddle. But thanks.
Exchanges coinage for the t-shirt and gets ready to walk away.
Cool. So you guys start walking towards just where Junker's Delight is?
So are we... sorry, I was standing a bit of ways away because I don't need to be in all interactions as the cob. My question to you is, it sounds like the riddle is the Junker's Delight. Is that what you took away from this check?
I think so. He just said there was a riddle, and we should go to Junker's Delight.
Tormaiden, any
Some
thoughts?
proverbial saying, I don't know, but perhaps our only way of finding out more would be to go to this Junker's Delight.
Delight shirt sounds nice.
So the witchword says, let's go.
So you guys start heading down the street towards the shady part of town, which I guess all of Kafak Deep is pretty shady. But as you get closer, you do see a large sign kind of like cut off by other buildings, but you see a bright J.
That's cool.
And you just assume it's the right place. And as you're walking down, you kind of hear something, some kind of like scuffling. Down one of the alleyways near you.
A kerfuffle.
I
if
think
you will.
we've been spotted by some group, perhaps. Whips. Cobb. What do you make of it?
I think Roll is going to do a perception check.
And as you want to roll for that?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to roll for that. I always want to roll for everything. That's an 18.
18. 18 will beat it. So at the far end of this short, dingy alleyway, a pair of humans with bright red skin, clad in leather jackets, stand over a prone Yosoki woman. they deliver a series of vicious kicks and punches. She cries out in pain with every blow, while another Yusoki, who appears similarly dressed to the humans, sneers. You knew there were consequences when you refused Dotrolu's generous offer. Riddle. And that's our game.
What?
Whoa.
Okay, cool.
Amazing!
Nice.
Call them Riddle? Kev, first session with Kev as GM, everybody.
That was good, man.
Thanks for listening, ye scallywags. Until next week, drift beacons at distant stars.